This week in language, we are continuing with our summarizing. And so today we are going to work on how to figure out what are the most important parts in a story that you're summarizing. So I sent you a sheet and it is a grid and it has characters on it, has problems on it, has solution on it, even has setting on it. We've actually looked at all those things before. Today we're going to use that sheet to organize our thoughts and figure out what is the most important thing in a story that I am going to share with you. So I have a book here. It is called Thelma the Unicorn. It's a pretty goofy book, which you are about to find out. So have your sheet in front of you. As we go, fill out the boxes. Who are the characters? What is the problem? What is the solution? And then where is the setting? Where and when? I'll give you a hint with the when. It's now, current day. It's not in the past, it's not in the future, it's sort of modern day. All right, let's read a story together. Thelma the Unicorn. Thelma felt a little sad. In fact, she felt forlorn. You see, she wished with all her heart to be a unicorn. Problem? Character? Pause anytime you need to. Her best friend's name was Otis. He liked her quite a lot. He said, "You're perfect as you are." But Thelma said, "I'm not." And that was when she saw it, a carrot on the ground. It gave her such a great idea. She squealed and jumped around. She took that simple carrot and she tied it to her nose. I'll say that I'm a unicorn. It just might work. Who knows? Well, as she did, a truck drove by. The driver rubbed his eyes. "Good grief, is that a unicorn?" he shrieked in great surprise. As Thelma watched the swerving truck, it very nearly hit her. Would you believe that truck was filled with nice pink paint and glitter? Oh, Thelma looked amazing. She was a unicorn. "I'm special now," she cried out loud, and so a star was born. All across the whole wide world, her fans would cheer her name. Thelma loved it every bit. The fame, the fame, the fame. Thelma was a superstar. Her dreams had all come true. But soon she found that fame was kind of tricky too. You see, her fans were mad for her. They'd scream and cry and laugh. They'd chase her everywhere she went to get her autograph. In fact, they'd chase her all day long. It never, ever stopped. They chased her while she exercised. They chased her while she shopped. "Please don't chase me anymore," she asked the screaming crowd. "We'll chase you all we want," they said. "We're fans, so it's allowed." And some were not her fans at all. No, some were really mean. And some just did the meanest things she'd ever really seen. So one dark night, she felt quite sad, this little famous pony. She said, "I thought that I'd feel great, but all I feel is lonely." And so with that, she changed her mind, this lonely unicorn. She cleaned off all her sparkles and she ditched her magic horn. And then she walked right past the crowd. They didn't even notice. She thought how nice that it would be to see her lovely Otis. And when he asked about her trip beneath their favorite tree, she simply said, "Oh, it was fun, but I'd rather just be me." Let's talk about some of the things you found in the story. So let's start with setting. I already gave you the when. What is the where? Where does this story take place? It takes place in a few different places, yeah. So it sort of starts and ends on the farm, and in the middle it goes to some sort of famous looking places like in a big city. All right, great, setting, done. Who are the main characters in this story? Well, Thelma. There was another important character who had a name in this book. Do you remember his name? Her best friend, Otis, is another main character. Did anyone else get any other characters? We had, let's see, her fans. Her fans are characters. We can include that under characters. The truck driver who swerved and got glitter on her, he's a character. So there's a lot of characters in the book. We could name all of them if we wanted to. What was the big problem? The beginning of the book, we saw the problem pretty quickly. Thelma was not happy with who she was, and she wanted to be a unicorn. That is her problem. How did she solve that problem? We could actually probably say 2 ways she solved that problem. What was the first way that she tried to solve the problem? Yeah, the first solution she tried was she tried to be a unicorn. But did that work? Did that make her happy with who she was? Not really. She learned pretty quickly that that's not actually who she wanted to be. So in the end, what has she learned that is actually the real solution? Yeah, she has learned that she actually is happy being who she is. And she realized that her friends and her family are more important than fame and being super special. All right, so we have very quickly got our problem, solution, characters, and our setting. So how do we go from there to what is the most important part? We have our basic problem and solution. Those are important parts. And we have our important characters. We know that the story is about Thelma, the unicorn. We know that. The front tells us that she's going to be kind of an important character. We want to look at, are there any other characters who need to be in the book so that the problem and the solution can still stay the same? So could I get rid of some of the fans and still have the same story? Yeah, I could. It wouldn't really change the story at all. Could I take out the truck driver, maybe put a different guy in the truck, and it's still the same story, same problem and solution? Yeah, he's sort of important. He's not that important. Can I take Otis out and have the same story? Not so much, because Otis is a very important part of Thelma's story because she learns things from him, and she learns that she actually wants to just be friends with him, and that's better than being a unicorn. When we're talking about what is important, we're talking about things that you can't take out of the story. So the problem and the solution have to stay the same. I can take things out without changing that. What can I take out? I could take out some of the screaming fans and their signs. I could even take out the part where people are mean to her. That won't change the problem and the solution. But I can't take out her getting covered in glitter and thinking that she's a unicorn. I can't take that part out because that's important for the problem and the solution to work properly. When you are writing a summary, you're only telling me the important parts from a story. So if you're ever unsure if you have got an important part or something that's not that important, ask yourself, could I take this out of the story without changing the problem and the solution? If you can, it's not very important. If you can't take it out without changing it, then it is an important part of the story. So we just read Thelma the Unicorn. I would like you now to take the chart you have and use that to write a summary. You can write that just on any blank piece of paper. Your summary won't be very long. The book wasn't very long. Your summary is going to just tell me about the important parts in this story and the important characters, right? You may get to work on that now. Remember, only the things that matter for keeping the problem and the solution the same. Anything you can take out, take it out. Today, your goal is to make the shortest summary you can while still keeping the important parts. See, I'm telling you, shorter is better today. There you go, that's pretty awesome. Get down to work and I will see you tomorrow.